We caught up with Redline Rob Lane at DirtyFest 3 for an exclusive look at his amazing collection of Redline bikes. It's not only Redlines he's been restoring. Check out these rare bikes and surprise guest appearances.
Welcome to the Super Rad BMX podcast. I'm Redline Rob Lane. Come on in. We're here with Dennis Dain. Dennis raced for Redline in '78, raced for Cook's Brothers. We've got some special stuff here, and Dennis is going to tell us all about it. Here in the trailer, we've got Dennis's original jersey that he raced in '78 in the Coliseum. That's that famous magazine where he's on the cover with the '78 Proline jumping.
78 Proline, but '79 was when this happened. It was the pre-game exhibition Rams Dallas playoff game. Probably February would be. It was the playoff before the Super Bowl, and it was a pre-game exhibition. LA Coliseum, 70,000 people, and racing this. That was the jersey I wore. Those are the pads and stuff from that bike. Rob framed it up to be on display.
And Dennis actually owns one of the only original bikes that was on a magazine cover, has his helmet, has the jersey, the complete bike, and it's on display all across America all the time. And this is inside the Redline trailer. Just take a look around. You've got Kosmala stuff, Willoughby, Byron Friday, Stu Thomsen, Greg Hill, Don Jolet, Willoughby, John Purse. It's awesome. If you're ever here, come on in. There's lots of special stuff to read that nobody gets to see, stuff from the Andersons, and just things from all across the United States. And just look at all the autographs. All right, we're gonna go outside and we're gonna have Dennis tell us about the '78 Proline. This is awesome.
Late 1978, when I joined Redline, Lynn had team bikes made for Greg Hill, David Clinton, Jeff Rumner, myself. I can't remember the younger kid that was on the team, but that was the 4 pros that were on the team. And Lynn did custom. Supposedly he polished the tubes on these things, then had them welded, and then had them chromed, and dialed them in for us. And so these were the team bikes, the chrome bikes. And at the time, the original ones had the original flight cranks, the prototypes, that variation of the prototypes. And all 5 of us had those on the bikes. And I actually had those cranks on here for the Coliseum race, but sometime not long after that, 2 of the guys broke them, had some structural problems, so Lynn told us to take them off. We removed them. So Ralph, I was also co-sponsored by Ralph's Bike Shop. Ralph had Astrodula 7.5s chrome plated for me. And they're the original wheels, the original cranks that are on this bike. Everything else is original. Rob redid the rims on here, but he just polished the chrome, it's still there. The number plate was hand cut by me. I was doing my own hand cut number plates before Bob Haro. Love Bob Haro dearly, but he did his thing, probably doing about the same time. And that was mine, my own hand cut ones. And coaster brake, red band coaster brake in the back. Still, I ran that all the way to the end of my career with the hand brake. But I had this bike sitting in my garage since 1978, 79, when I quit racing right at the end of that. And it's just been hanging around. And when Rob took over this thing and I met him, it's like, you're the man. Can you bring this back to life? And he has it regenerated, and it's back to life as a beautiful bike. I mean, how many bikes that were on the cover of the magazine, April of 1979 magazine, and this is the bike from that era. It speaks of its own history. You know, it has pedigree from our time at BMX. So it's a great tribute to that, real bike tribute from that era. And now it can be shown with Rob as long as he wants to tour with it. And once he's done, it'll end up in the Hall of Fame in Tulsa.
And not only that, the original jersey, the pads, the original helmet,
true.
The whole kit is right here. And it's absolutely amazing to share this with everybody.
In fact, I kept on to it, and it's a great story. I love, the bike shows are cool, the bikes are neat, tribute bikes are neat, but this is real history, and people love hearing real life stories, and there's something about, I could talk about these things forever. They're just a great story about a good time in our lives.
So this is Bob Haro's 76 Squareback. I wanted to build this bike to tribute Bob. It's just an iconic photo. The NorCal plate, the 1311, and it's a great shot of him racing for Molinas, and it's just a beautiful bike. This bike's really awesome. It's a one-of-one 1974 Redline 24-inch cruiser. It's actually the first cruiser was ever made 5 years before there even were cruisers. Lynn Caston only made one. It's a unicorn of the unicorns. It's absolutely awesome. It was made for Robert Phillips. Robert raced it for a couple of years. The bike was stolen out of his garage, ended up at a bike shop, and then it ended up in the hands of Mike Sandoval. Mike got it not knowing what it really was, and it's gone through several transitions until Mike figured out what this bike actually was. Then it ended up at the Valley Relics Museum for several years. It was finally sold to Ray at Ray's BMX Museum up in Michigan, and unfortunately Ray passed away. When Ray passed away, they contacted me to take care of the bike. All right, Radmattic, this is one of my favorite bikes. This is actually a really rare Team Proline. It has welded seat stays. These were only made 1 year. There was a few of them made. And this is a John Cruz tribute bike. And this is really special to me. The bike is amazing. It rides great. And I just love all my boys, and John is one of them. This PL24 is super special to me. Jeff Kosmala gave it to me. He gave me his kit. The kit's inside the trailer, which you guys saw earlier, and this is one of the prototype PL24s. It's absolutely awesome. That's Jeff's original shirt. It's a great shot of him jumping right there, and that's his gig bag that he used to transport the bike in between shows. And this bike is absolutely amazing. This is Greg Hill's 78 Micro Line, famous number 8. This is like the Cooks Brothers pad. And it's an iconic bike. There's not a lot of pictures of this bike and not a lot of time that he did racing it, because he obviously was transformed into the Proline, which you see behind you. Greg did not like the Proline. The Proline was a little bit too big for him. Then they went to the MX-II, which you see right here. And this is the bike that Greg did really good on in 1979. All right, Radmattic, these are two really killer bikes. This is Stu Thomsen's 74 Squareback. It's one of the very first Squarebacks ever made. This thing is tiny. I don't know how Stuart rode this bike. He'd have to tell you about it. He actually did ride it last year at DirtyFest on the parade lap. There's a great shot of Stu right here, jumping the bike. And this was an iconic build I just had to do. And the 74s are super rare. There's only a couple hundred of them made. Stu's ridden the bike, he's seen the bike, he helped build the bike with different ideas and stuff.
I keep hearing my name. I'm trying to be over there. What's going on, man?
Take over.
Are you
I'm
talking
sorry.
about bikes that I rode?
I am.
I barely remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. I did have oatmeal, but
You rode that.
I rode this in 74 because there's a picture of me doing it.
What was bullshot?
Bullshot. Lubricant.
Lubricant.
Yeah,
That's right.
You lube the chain, cranks, whatever squeaks, the joints.
Yeah.
You
You need some now,
Yeah,
especially after the day racing at
This
DirtyFest.
bike was awesome. This was my kind of a graduation from a Schwinn Stingray to a Redline Squareback.
You're probably breaking the Stingrays, I would imagine. Did you ever break one of these?
Not that I recall. I may have, might have had a crack.
A little crack here and there.
But they welded it up, and it's good to go for the next weekend.
And can you believe Redline went from this 74 to this work of art?
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
I love this bike.
Stuart won so many races with this and the championship. Also the Nora Cups team.
Team rider.
Yes, sir.
One of my helmets on display that was actually probably this helmet here, but I changed visors like diapers, you know. But yeah, it was a fun time in life.
What was the deal with the Terry cable? This thing was a pain in the butt.
What the deal was, the Terry cable, is they had a, I believe it was a vinyl plastic sleeve or something inside.
Yeah.
So rather than the cable rubbing on the wrapped steel, there was
Smoother.
an insulated cable, insulated sleeve in there, so it was easier to pull on the brake. So you didn't have so much binding. That was the big thing.
And still running the Bs in 82.
Yep.
That was the wheel.
Rarest 78.
Yeah.
I love this rim. You had to be very, very agile with them. And I was a big guy, but I knew how to ride the bike. I knew how to jump. I knew how to land soft. And they worked, because for me, it's all about rotating weight. And if this is light, then the bike's going to accelerate faster.
And those Super B hubs, they're awesome.
Oh, yeah.
They're like camping. They're amazing.
Yeah, I believe they might have been, not this one, but some of the ones we had were the track hubs that we got from the track. So there's, my wife found me.
Oh, it is Tanya.
Yeah. Let me just put that on pause there. Hang up on the wife, she won't like that.
You won't see this, will you?
Yeah, she probably will. Dinner's ready, where are you?
So what's this? Is that bubble gum or is that a tongue?
That's my tongue.
That's your tongue.
That's my tongue.
That's one of my favorite shots of Stuart.
I think it was during practice. We were just checking different lines, riding the track. We wouldn't always start at the starting hill. We would come in at the second corner and ride a section, and then get off the track, and then come back and go back.
Focus time.
And we would just go and go and go. And I was probably tired.
That's the picture I actually used to build the bike.
And I had a keen eye for photographers. I kind of knew where they were. Always knew where they were. So I would do a funny face like that because I knew someone was off in the background trying to take a picture of me.
Yeah.
So just playing the camera, playing the crowd. So that's what I do.
That was awesome.
Get some oohs and ahs.
Always have and always will.
Good to go.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thanks, Rob, for replicating that bike.
Hey. More to come.
Look at that. They had Hutch and all those fancy pedals, but KKT rat traps, man.
It's the way to roll. Y'all rode them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing better than a Vans tennis shoe wrapping over a pedal. That's probably why I have bad feet today.
Still wearing Vans.
Yeah. All right. Good job.
Yep. All right, Radmattic, you guys have got to be thinking, what the heck is Redline Rob doing with the Mongoose? Well, because of the PL24 that KOS gave me and the friendship we've developed throughout the years, this bike came available right out of the BMX Hall of Fame in Tulsa. I just had to get it. The two belong together, and my love for Kosmala, there was no way I couldn't get this bike, and it's incredible. KOS won 24 26 Nationals on this, and it's just amazing. Speaking of cruisers, this is a tribute bike, but it's Leone's PL24, and this thing is incredible. One thing it has on it that's super, super rare is 190 millimeter flight cranks. And we just gotta show you these. You'll never see them, they're super hard to get, and this bike was #1. This bike is super special. There are only 4 of them ever made. It was a Skyway Redline collaboration with the Guinness Book of World Records. So if you did the longest wheelie, the highest jump, the biggest bunny hop in 1982, you won one of these bikes. Unfortunately, if you raced for Redline, you got just the plate like Jeff Kosmala. But Martin Aparijo got this bike, and it's the only one left in existence. And you gotta check this out. Skyway graphites, first gen, Skyway pedals. This bike is absolutely mint. It's won multiple shows. And Martin hand cut these Oakley grips, and they are just incredible. All right, Radmattic, this is Redline Rob again, and you're gonna also ask, again, like the Mongoose, what the heck is Rob Lane doing with the Cooks brothers? Well, this is a super special Cooks. There was only one ever made. It was raced by Dennis Dain, and it's got a cover shot. Dennis, tell us about this bike.
Gary Cook, I was racing for Cook Brothers, 77, 78, racing for Gary, working for Gary, and Gary Cook was a wonderful man. I loved him. He was like a father figure to me. I just loved being around him. He treated me so well. He had this a specific frame done up for me. This one's been redeveloped since then, but the original bike, this frame was red in the middle with gold. They called it erudite. It's in the auto industry, but gold tipped, kind of like a CAD plating at both ends. And it was done up that way, and that's how I raced it. And I was on the cover of the magazine at that time, and it was really just a beautiful bike. And I love this bike. I love the geometry of this thing, fit me so well. It was just dialed for me, the Cook slant stem, put it at an angle that was really comfortable for me. I really peaked in my career in 1978.
This was definitely Dennis's favorite race bike.
It was my favorite.
Share with us about these rims and the history, but seriously, these are hand painted by Dennis himself at Cooks. He was an employee there. Working for Gary Cook, working at Cook Brothers, Gary had bought gross amounts of the Araya 7B rims, and I had to dial them in to get them ready to be done in this manner. And he had built a jig that spun the rim around it and then had cardboard inserts that went in there, and I rattle can painted these things. So the red ones you'll see that are very rare, the blue ones that are very rare, still in existence, were rattle can painted by me just down the middle. The shoulders are all raw aluminum so that the braking didn't affect the paint. But they were all done by me, and then I laced them and trued them, got paid piecemeal. I still have receipts at home that say I built 90 wheels in a week. I got paid $90 with Gary Cook's signature on there. And it was an amazing time to be a teenager for Cook Brothers. You know, and Dennis actually, just like Dennis's Proline behind us, he handmade that plate. Dennis handmade the plate for the Cooks Brothers, and it's also on the cover of the Minicycle BMX Action magazine.
There I am in all my glory. Gary had this photo shoot was set up for us to do, and Ralph was rather upset. I love Ralph Mundia from Ralph's Bike Shop dearly. He was another great friend of mine, but Gary set this up, and he had his jerseys made up for this thing. And when I had no clue I was going to be on the cover, and this came out, and as much as I love Gary, I felt for Ralph, and Ralph felt slighted because no Ralph's Bike Shop on there at all. And so I have other jerseys made with Ralph's with Cook Brothers down the sleeves, but this one, Cook Brother got all the props on this one, but I'm still glad that it worked out for me. But you know, the powers that be squabble over the details of the business side of it, but I got to play this part.
And you got to just check this out. I mean, Cook's hubs, hand-painted rims by Dennis. This thing is absolutely crazy. Cook's bars, but we're going to have to convert them to the Redlines because he actually had the Redline bars on the cover shot. We've got the Cook stem. This thing's incredible. With Dennis's help, we're going to bring this thing right back to its original glory.
Indeed. It's a plan.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Radmattic. We have more clunker and BMX bikes in the shop ready to work on. Also, check out our Super Rad BMX podcast here on Radmattic. You can also find Super Rad BMX podcast on all the best podcast platforms. Hey Radmattic fans, check out radmattic.com for cool BMX and cycling t-shirts and apparel. We have plenty to choose from, with more in development. Celebrate the vintage days of BMX racing. Proudly display your enthusiasm for all things BMX and cycling. Each shirt comes in multiple colors and sizes. Buying shirts at radmattic.com is one way you can help support this channel. Until next time, stay rad and keep doing it in the dirt.